Hey everyone, Gil here, and it is Wednesday, August the 6th. Another great support and training session here tonight. With regards to support, it's about an hour and a half session with Jeremy earlier today, and here is what you missed. Jeremy opened the session with API updates and feedback. There was a Google Docs link, and that would be placed inside of the Facebook post. So if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you log into the CGW Facebook group. That way you can see if you have any updates or the ball is in your court. You need to make some changes. You need to register. You need to provide the right email and whatnot. Okay. Now, majority of you folks have gotten everything right so far, or their accounts have already been resolved and you are up and running, or that the API system is working for you. Okay. Now, there have been some folks that have raised some concerns with regards to the frequency in the leads, like it's been a week, it's been a couple weeks and whatnot. If your name is in green, then you are 100% good to go. It is working, okay? There have been some updates to the API system, and one of those is looking to reduce the turnaround times on how frequent or often you do receive the leads. But a major update that was made today is that the API system now has a buffer based on the account limit that you have set. Okay, so here's how that works. If you have a 10,000 limit account, the tech team may have placed a buffer on there for about 100, right? So when your account falls below that 100 lead threshold, so let's say out of 10,000, less 100, that's 9,900. If you have 9,900 and more leads, the API system's going to check the account and move on since your account is good to go. If it is below that threshold, then the API system will proceed to add leads, that way up until you reach that threshold. There have been some folks, and quite a few, that have made some errors on the account limits that they've placed on there, or you folks are accidentally duplicating contacts as opposed to using segments and save searches. And when you duplicate contacts, that actually creates and counts as to your total number of contacts. So if you copy 500 contacts by mistake, that will add to your total balance, which can or may result in the autoresponder triggering a billing or an invoice for the next tier up. So check the file, make sure you're good to go. Now, if you are an all white on that row, that means you have to make some updates and changes. Follow the instructions found in the Google Docs spreadsheet. Some of the cells and columns have been locked, which means you cannot change the information on there. This is to prevent folks who have gone in and actually changed up some information, deleted some cells, moved some stuff around, filled in the wrong blanks on the spreadsheet. So we fixed that, okay? There is a dedicated column where you will enter the new information that you need to place. So if you entered your personal email instead of your get response email, there is a column dedicated there where you will enter in the correct information. Okay, now out of the 55 API tickets, the good news is there's only 15 people left who need to update their information and their status. The ball is now in your court. Go ahead and check the file, and let's get that resolved and you moving forward. Okay, with regards to SeeMax, there was 190 support tickets turned in for SeeMax. Now there's only 12, so definitely some progress there. With regards to SeeMax, Jeremy did address some frequently asked questions on there. The tech team did get to update and get a lot of folks just today up and running, officially using their SeeMax accounts. Okay, so again, check the spreadsheet. If you are highlighted in white and you are not green, then you need to update certain pieces of information on there. The most common one that I have seen is that folks are not entering their cPanel username and password. They're entering the GoDaddy. You need to set up cPanel so that our tech team can go in there, install, do their thing, and get you up and running. All right? Then there were other folks where the username and password was, pretty much easy enough to figure out, or based on the GoDaddy login, they were able to go into the accounts and set up all that info on your behalf. Unfortunately, some folks have highly cryptic or really funky usernames and passwords that they cannot use blunt force or figure out your username and password. So check the spreadsheet. Make sure that you are either in green. If you are in white, you need to make some updates to that particular file. All right. Now, with regards to Skype, in case you haven't seen it in the live and live stream Skype rooms, I did make a post earlier today. Please reserve and keep that room for updates, announcements, feedback, bonuses, anything important for Chris, Jeremy, the Clicks Gone Wild team captains, and any of the content contributors like Matt, Joey, the big guys that are going to be going in there who will need to make an announcement, right? There's been a lot of those rooms have kind of taken a turn lately, and there's been a lot of different chatter, stories, best practices, and whatnot. And we definitely encourage dialogue in the program, especially if you are looking for solutions and sharing best practices. So we encourage that. Take those conversations, sidebar them, open up a Facebook chat, start another Skype chat. That way you guys can have that dialogue and not worry. Whenever that room buzzes or pings and we see it live on the support session, the team scrambles to check to make sure that there's nothing urgent or if there's folks that need to be helped. So we want to be able to streamline the support, the delivery of the content, and make things official for everybody. Folks have raised the concern of, hey, we just don't want to miss out on anything, so we're posting here, we're posting there. Great, right? If you have a question or if you have a support, account-related issue, billing, whatnot, use the CGW support desk, and there will be details inside of the post that you can click on to register a support ticket. You can also have a dialogue with your team captains so that you can also post questions inside of the Facebook members only groups. Now, if you're not quite sure if the question you want to ask is relevant or if it's group friendly content, or you just want to make sure that the question you are asking, you are using the right words or phrasing it in the right way, so we're not causing mass panic or sending the wrong message, if that makes sense. Yeah, so check with your team captain. Some of the posts and some users are required to have their posts approved. If you're not sure, just send them a message and they'll let you know, hey, you know what, I get what you're saying, here's where you can find the information. Or I get, maybe you need to ask your question a little bit clearer so that you can get the right help that you do need. Again, we want you guys to be able to move forward, get you unstuck, or at least get you a timely response, and so that you can move forward. Cool? Next up is Namecheap, right? Namecheap, there has been some frustrations or some folks experiencing delays in receiving the autoresponder email, right? So when you add that new domain name that you purchased in the from address, you're supposed to confirm it, right? So that you can send mail using that particular address. Now, if you're using .pw and this is a situation or an issue, concern, or something that Namecheap has actually acknowledged that it is a system thing on their end, that .pw domains, the settings don't save. Even if you do save them on your end, when the back office on their system, they have to go in and save it again or do it manually. So I'm going to type in the exact chat that you can copy paste with Namecheap support so that they can get that resolved in as little as 30 minutes. Or it may take a couple hours. Now, granted, that's completely out of our hands, and that's happened to me a whole bunch of times too. So I've made some adjustments, and I now purchase my .pw domain names few hours or maybe even several hours ahead of time so that I have a buffer and I'm not sitting in front of my desk waiting for that email to come in. An hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours go by and I'm still waiting on the autoresponder confirmation email, right? So check out those notes so that you can get that resolved much faster, keep moving forward, and avoid a lot of the different frustrations. Speaking about domains, there is a new update with regards to the autoresponder. Folks, with regards to IPs, the ball is in their court and we're waiting to hear back from them. So until there is an announcement from the CGW team, just sit back, relax, focus on some other relevant topics, or make sure you're getting your campaigns out, right? Because I've actually had the chance to see some of the campaigns going out. You want to make sure that you're mailing every day. And I'll touch on that in another post here about being consistent and the importance of still doing it regardless of what's going on there around you. So with the autoresponder though, some major news. They are going to be updating it where we can mail off of one central domain or a company domain. That's going to allow for better conversions, because for folks that need to see a certain domain or something multiple times before they actually click buy, subscribe, do whatever it is you want them to do, they need to see it a couple times. And we're also going to be sprinkling the strategy where, of course, there's going to be new domains, some fresh ones that are going to be added in there. It's kind of like what we talked about yesterday when it comes to SeeMax. Some offers they see quite a few times before they buy. Other offers or other folks, they need to see some variety before they actually take action. So that's the big update earlier that came up in support with regards to the autoresponder. There are no updates with regards to Orlando. They will be released once there's some dates or at least a tentative, here's what we're looking to do. Need feedback. What do you guys think? Yeah? Solo ad vendors. Jeremy did talk about solo ad vendors as well on the session today, explaining how most solo ad vendors really practice arbitrage. That's their business model. Folks place an order with them. They in turn go around, buy from another solo ad vendor. They buy low, they sell at a markup, and that's how they make their profit, right? So it goes into more detail in the support session. Check that out if that is of interest to you. ESM. Jeremy did address some ESM questions and topics earlier today too. Frequently asked and common errors. What most people are making or the mistakes that he made when he first started out, so we can streamline the process. He also shared what he uses from the from address or the from names. And also, when you're entering your emails, there is a double semicolon that you have to enter in there. Will Lead uploaded a file in the CGW live group where you can copy paste your leads and it automatically adds it in there. Jeremy shares his strategy, or what he uses, which is a document that uses the find the spaces and it replaces it with the double colon. In a few seconds, you can get the entire document solved. Check out the support replay so that you can apply that. Use which of the tools better fits for you or what you're more comfortable with at the end of the day. Now, there are other settings on ESM. They can be used for intermediate and advanced purposes, but if you're first starting out, keep it simple. Jeremy shows campaigns that date back to 2011 with and just using ESM, right? And so the tips and strategies, including the ones in the basic video, are based off of what has worked in the past on a track record, and if there's any challenges, they can identify solutions, or they already have solutions lined up if in case some of those issues do come up. If you guys are going to use different settings that may work for now, right? There may be some challenges down the line, but you, my friend, are now in uncharted territory, and you're definitely going to have to figure out how to make that work, since again, it's new stuff, it's new territory, it's a different setting, right? So before you go venturing off and trying different strategies or different settings, especially if you're a basic user, start out with the basic setup and simply follow what's in the tutorial videos or in the support session, okay? Mike Story asked a really good question on the session about ClickSure voiding his email offers, and Jeremy explains again the difference. This is another aspect, by the way, totally different from previous sessions, on how Media Antics approaches and uses these type of offers that require an email, because with other networks, you don't necessarily get credit when somebody enters an email on the front page or a zip code. Right after you enter them, what pops up next is like 100 questions or like a million questionnaire that they have to fill out, and you only get credit then, right? So he talks about the Media Antics offers and how we're best set up for success. The hint there is they only have to opt in on page 1, right? So where would you rather go? An easy one-page opt-in for your subscriber or your user, or have to have them fill out a million questions before you get credit for that particular conversion? Okay, there was no earlier support today. The next support popped in about 10 o'clock tonight, and that's Eastern time, and mixed up the dates there a little bit. But I will post the recap of that session as well. Very brief one. Okay, Jeremy's definitely bouncing back. It looks like he's fighting off a bug. So when you guys do get the chance, send him some love and let him know, hey, get well soon. And that way he can, feel fantastic and get up and running sooner than later. All right. Last but not the least, let's see, what else we got on here? No, I think that's pretty much it, right? Training today for beginner support training session. Let me do a quick recap of that as well. Jeremy talked a little bit about some terms in the industry, give you guys, again, a little bit of know-how, a little bit of understanding of how our craft or trade works, so that we get better knowledge. And really, what's an expert? An expert just knows a little bit more than the next guy to him, right? Just a little bit more. And so hopefully you guys are definitely taking the time to check out these support training videos, the replays, the notes that folks are posting, so that you can shorten your time frames, pick up on the best practices, and get the best results possible where, again, put you in a good position for success. a lot of folks, and I kind of take pot shots at them a little bit, and whenever they try to go rogue, right? Because it's really the folks that have gone rogue with the program that have caused a lot of the major, let's call them setbacks or challenges that are now being resolved. The folks that do show up for support, that do check the notes, that do check out the replay, these are the ones that are seeing success and are able to move forward. But most importantly, their mind's in the right place and they know what to focus on, right? They know what to focus on. And I'll relate that to this quick story. I was actually just reading an article earlier today about space shuttles and spaceships. My younger brother's really big on military and spaceship stuff. So he sent me an email on some stuff that, hey, check this out. And one of them was on space shuttles. And those things weigh like 2.4 million pounds. I mean, they're giant beasts, right? And I haven't seen a space shuttle live. I definitely would like to, but I've seen some of the videos online, and most people think that these shuttles and rockets are launched straight up into outer space, right at the moon, or wherever it is they're going to. In this case, let's say they're going to the moon, right? And it looks like they're going in a straight line, but truth be told, they're not traveling in a straight line. They're actually going on a curved path, right? And when they launch the rocket ship, they don't just set that sucker on autopilot, go to bed, wake up, and they're right at the moon. They make multiple course corrections along the way. There's asteroids, there's solar winds, there's problems inside the ship, stuff's not working. They make tons of course corrections along the way in order to hit the moon or their final destination. And I relate that a lot to this particular business because the folks inside of that rocket ship, that's kind of like us, right? We're piloting our rocket ship so we can hit the moon, hit some serious goals. And I mean, some folks are posting up some fantastic numbers when it comes to their goals and just doing like a lifestyle overall and have a better situation, right? Keep your eye on the prize, folks. The moon in this story is the prize that we're looking to move towards. We're not going in a straight path. We're going to hit objections. We're going to encounter problems. And that's part of it. It's a growing pain, right? I wish it was an easy process. I wish there were never, any problems or challenges that would pop up. But the challenges that we do solve, encounter, and overcome along the way, that's what makes the best success stories. And that's really what makes a successful business, right? So definitely think about that. Show up for support. That way you can continue to know what to focus on. Apply the training and best practices so that you can make the necessary course corrections. The folks that have been sent into outer space and into the black hole that went rogue, we're never going to hear from them again. And they've never hit some of the results that some of you guys are posting today, even with the challenges that we're facing. There's still folks making sales. There's still folks doing well. And overall, the participation from the CGW family in the group is at its highest. So, I look forward to seeing you guys on the next video. Do remember to subscribe, hit the like button, leave some comments, feedback below. I do check it before I record my next video. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.